Welcome to the 2022-2023 Granby Junior Senior High School All Sports Banquet. Thanks so much for being here. We figured on a day where we typically don't have sports, it's a Sunday, what better thing to do than all pile into one room and talk about sports. So I'd like to start off by introducing our athletic director, Mr. Dylan Dubuque, for a few words.
Good morning and welcome. I want to give a special thanks to our Booster Club and everyone that put time and effort to putting on this event. The Booster Club has helped their student athletes in the Granby athletics community in so many ways this year. From the senior nights, helping with the softball fences, providing concession stands at the games, putting up our wrestlers in the hotel for the state meet, organizing team stores, and the list can go on and on. The game day announcements and the postings of team and individual accomplishments on their social media sites is something that I know our student athletes love and appreciate seeing. Personally, I'd like to thank you guys for welcoming me in this new position and helping make my job a little bit more manageable. Welcome to the parents, guardians, family, friends of our athletes. I want to thank you all for your support to Granby Athletics throughout the year. I'm always amazed and proud to see the turnout at the different sporting events. To our athletes, take a moment later today to thank your parents, your guardians, and whoever is bringing you to and from the games, buying your equipment, paying your user fees, and supporting you along the way. You wouldn't be here without them, so please take a minute to thank them. A special thanks to our coaches and our admin staff. While these positions can be thankless at times, you truly are the backbone of our athletics. The time, effort, and energy you put in to helping our student athletes goes above and beyond, and I'm very appreciative of your commitment to them. I'd like to take a minute to thank some of the behind-the-scenes people that help make our athletics and the opportunities for our students to play and be seen. Our maintenance staff for their work in the school, in the gym, on the playing fields is much appreciated. GCAM and their coverage of the sporting events is truly amazing and much appreciated. Our student managers who volunteer their time to help their fellow classmates is great to see and much appreciated. Ms. Smeagol, Mr. Kearns, Mr. Cree, thank you for all you do for our winter athletics. Papa John and the other trainers that have helped us out throughout the year, we appreciate it. Jackie in central office for your work organizing the officials and buses. Mary in HR for helping with the paperwork for our coaches. Thank you very much. Our assistant coaches who volunteer their time to teach and educate our students. Thank you very much. Mr. Sullivan, Ms. Jordan, and Mr. Rodriguez, your leadership and dedication to our school community is much appreciated. I'm sure I have missed a couple important people and I apologize. This truly takes a village. I locked myself in the bathroom for 10 minutes to hide from my 2-year-old, my 7-month-old, and my wife this morning to put this speech together. I have to give them a shout out. They've been very supportive to get through the year with them, and my wife allowing me to do this job and spend so much time out on the fields and on the courts to watch our student athletes grow. Thank you to them. And lastly, thank you and congratulations to our student athletes. This year, I've had the pleasure of watching so many of you compete in the sports you love. Watching individual and team growth throughout the seasons is what I enjoy most. Competing for league and Western Mass championships are all good and well, but more importantly, seeing you grow as young adults, learning the life skills to help prepare you to make a difference in our society is what brings me the most joy and pride in my position. I wish all the seniors well, and as you move on to the next chapters of your life, remember, once a Ram, always a Ram. To our returning athletes, keep practicing, keep improving, and be great teammates. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this banquet. I appreciate everyone for coming out, and good luck to the spring sports and the rest of their season. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Dubuque. And if we could just give Mr. Dubuque one more round of applause. Truly, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in the paycheck. Athletic director is a tough job, always there for texts and conversations, regardless of what time of the day it is. So we appreciate you. To Dylan's point, we'd just like to, again, just if you could stand, please, the school administration, Ms. Jordan, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Dorman, thank you so much for always being there for us. The Booster Club would not be possible without the constant communication and the open line of communication between the school. So thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Faith Ramos. So everybody knows Faith. Faith is going to MC our event. She's been gracious enough to, yeah, come on up. Yeah. You know Faith from the introductions at the basketball game. She does a great job. And it was an overwhelming vote to have Faith do it instead of me this year. So it was a pretty easy call. So.
Hello and welcome athletes, coaches, families, and administration to the annual athletic banquet. My name is Faith Ramos, and I will be your MC for this morning. Before we begin, I would like to thank and first acknowledge and thank the Booster Club for hosting this amazing event. We have our president, Chrissy Mishazik, our vice president, Kathy Berger, the treasurer, Brian Carillon, our secretary, Courtney Marino, and last but not least, the social media coordinator, Laura Carillon. It is an honor to be here today to celebrate the incredible achievements of our athletes over the past year. This banquet is a time to reflect on the hard work, dedication, and a commitment that has brought us all here. Look around the room. We see the faces of those who have given it their all, whether it was on the field, on the court, or in the pool. We see determination, perseverance, and a true love for the game. We see athletes who have pushed themselves to the limit, coaches who have dedicated countless hours in helping their team succeed, and families who have supported them from the beginning. Today, we will celebrate not only the victories that have been achieved, but also the lessons that have been learned. We celebrate the friendships that have been formed, the memories that have been made, and the bonds that have been strengthened. We also recognize the sacrifices that have been made along the way, the early morning practices, the injuries, and setbacks that have been overcome. These are the things that make us stronger, that help us grow, and that ultimately lead us to success. So today, let us remember the moments of triumph, the moments of defeat, and the moments that have brought us all together. Now y'all can get ready to go eat. Have everybody's attention, please. We're about to start announcing the coaches. So without delay, let's begin. I ask that each coach come up to the stage when called and announce your athletes separately. Athletes, please stay seated until you hear your name. Once called, collect your award from the Booster Club and shake hands with your coach. First, we have our varsity baseball coach, James Woods.
You got my roster? Beautiful. Look at you, Faith. You are outstanding. Face the best. Okay. All right. I just want to thank the Booster Club administration, my players, their parent, their family, my assistant coaches, Matt Majajic, Mark Hagan, Dan Murdoch, Brian Carillon, and who else am I leaving out? I'm leaving out somebody else. All right, I'll think of it in a minute. This is great. It's great to be up here. Granby's a great town. I've been lucky to be here and coaching for 20 years, teaching in town here for that long as well. So I'm going to call up my players and do some more thanking, and we'll go right with that. Josh Shotnoff, senior. Brody Funk, he's a freshman. Gavin Kennedy, he's a sophomore. Colin Murdoch, he is a junior. Brennan Dwyer is a sophomore. Shane Gay, senior. Spencer Labonte, junior. Jaden Pike, sophomore. Andrew Feldman, junior. Daniel Gobbin, senior. Nick Majajic, junior. Jonathan Santiago, he's a senior. Carter White, senior. Gavin Marino is a sophomore. Anthony Gregorio, junior. And Patrick French. Currently, we're at 6-8. Had a lot of close games. Won a lot of close games, unfortunately lost. We're in every game. These guys have played hard. They've listened to coaching. They're a great group to coach and be around every day. Yesterday, we had a good win. We beat Munson, and Patrick French threw a no-hitter. So. Had a lot of good individual performances, too many to mention. And again, I'd like to say thank you very much. This is an outstanding banquet. Great to be a part of it. Who was my other assistant coach? I get everybody? Who? Oh, Jake Whitaker. He showed up once. Great kid. Outstanding. Some of these guys are going to go on and play some college baseball. And we look forward to seeing them doing just so. We've had a bunch of kids go on and play in college the past couple of years. And it's always great to go back and watch them perform at that level. Again, enjoy your Sunday, and have a good day, and thank you very much. Hey, you're leaving.
Round of applause for Coach Woods. And next up, we have our junior varsity baseball, Coach Dan Murdoch and Brian Curlin.
Oh, okay. Okay, everything that Jim said and ditto, save him some breath. The JV is a little different to GAA, so a lot of kids who join always think everybody plays, everybody bats, and unfortunately that's not the way it works. It's kind of like a life lesson. I learned it when I was going through high school. I have 3 boys. Colin's my youngest. They all learned it. And the players that are the stars of JV now were on the bench or bottom of the order last year. And so I always tell that to the JV players that your 7th, 8th graders sometimes play 9th and 10th graders. And it's a different ball game when guys are 2 years older than you, who've probably been playing ball. Ball comes faster. And if you don't know how to play the position, you could get hurt. So that's why some of the times your players aren't playing as often as we would like them to do. However, during practice, we are giving them opportunities. Fly balls, ground balls, batting practice, hitting off the tee, giving them lessons, how to run the bases, how to steal the bases, how to slide. You got to do a lot of those things in baseball because you can get hurt in baseball. You wear steel spikes. You got to know how to slide. You got to know how to catch the ball. You don't want to hit in the face. Ground balls are hard. Ball comes hard fast. Pitchers pitch faster. You got to be able to know how to get out of the way of the ball. So I know some frustration when you're used to playing every single game or every single inning, and you come into a higher level and you don't get that opportunity. There's reasons for that. We try to pick our spots because you try to reward kids who come to practice and practice hard. But you also look out for their safety. But every practice, we give them opportunities, and some of the ones have paid off. I see them. If you see them playing more often, if it's your son, there's a reason for that. Not because he's a favorite or I know his parents or anything like that. It's because he earned it. I have multiple players. If I get a position I can't fill, I said, hey, can you play this position? And most said, yeah. They never caught before. They never played third base before, but I know they're enthusiastic. They'll give me 100% effort. Some guys I've asked to pitch, but they said to me before they went on the mound, I don't want to pitch. I'm scared. So I said, okay, it's fine. You know, when you're ready for it, you'll pitch. So I just want to give that little advice to people when they think that their kids aren't playing. There's a reason for that, and that's one of the reasons. I just was assistant last year. I was going to be an assistant this year, but unfortunately, things happened, and I became the head coach. And I like it. I've always liked coaching. I've always liked coaching. I love this level for a reason. I don't care about the wins or losses. You know, that's why I'm surprised when I play JV coaches and they go on every single pass ball. They steal when I know I have a pitcher who's never pitched before. I don't get it. And I let them know that too. I said, what are you teaching your players? I want my guys to know how to go from first to third on a ground ball. I want to know how to tag up on a fly ball to center field. I want them to know how to steal. So, and if we're on third base and a coach tells me his pitcher never pitched before, I'm not going on a pass ball. We're going to hit the ball and score. There's no stand-ins for JV. There's no championship games. There's nothing. It's just about learning the game and coming from off the bench into a starter. That's who you want to be. And I tell the kids, I'm your biggest fan, but I'm also your biggest critic. So I'm trying to be fair. My father once told me, you know, you can't treat everybody the same. You can teach. You can treat them fairly. That's all. That's what I live by. So I'm going to announce the kids from the baseball team. We have Brendan Anderson, Brandon, Logan, Gage, Jack, Henry, Cole, Eddie, Liam, Nathan, Jared, Liam, Big Anthony, Little Anthony, Daniel, Sammy, Isaac, and Colin. So we're waiting for them to come up here. I think there's two people that should be acknowledged. And one is a team leader. He's been on the team last year, he was on this year. And last year, be honestly, he wasn't that good. But he worked hard. I'm serious. He was enthusiastic. He really was. And but now this year, he's pitched for me. He's caught. He's played third base. He's played shortstop. He's hit the ball. He's bats third all the time, and he's the leader. That when I have an incident, I just tell him, to Anthony, why don't you do this? And then we have a running joke in our team when I say, when I try to tell the kids how to do something, because they're doing it wrong, they keep doing it the same way that they're doing it. So I say, Anthony, what is the definition of insanity? Repeating an action over and over again, think it'll get it different. So I say, if you go like this, and it doesn't reach third base, try something different. So that's what we joke about all the time. And so if we had an MVP and team leader, it would be Anthony Santiago. And the last one is from last year barely playing to playing center field and batting like fifth. I think he has the most hits on our team. The best catches. I have to keep him focused, but that's okay, you know. We call it having a Larry moment, and when he settles in, I wish we had a film of some of the catches he made in center field. Then other times, I just shake my head, you know? But he's got to probably like 10 hits or something like that. He's always making contact with the ball. And so it's Larry, a.k.a. Jack. So hopefully you're going to see some of these guys on varsity next year. And like I said, parents are their first year on JV. I bet you next year you're going to see a difference from this year to next year. And hopefully I'll be there helping them along the way. So thank you very much.
Let's hear it for Coach Murdoch. Now we have our varsity girls soccer with their coach, Bob Weaver. Your roster is in a little box for you to
Morning. Good morning, afternoon. I'll name all the varsity players. If you want to come up, stand here. We'll get going. Ella, who I think is not here today, she's one of my two seniors. I'd like to acknowledge her. Catherine. Rhea. Sophia. Emily, Maggie, Mabel, Cassie, Kelly Lynn, Autumn, Molly, Olivia. Am I going to? Lydia, Jaden, Juliana, Eleanor, Ellie, sorry, Callie, Meredith, Brenna. I also like to bring up McKenna, who practiced with us all year, but due to an ACL injury, she was not able to play. We good, ladies? We're good. So I'd like to thank the administration, the Booster Club, for the continued support of these student athletes and sponsoring this event. I'd also like to thank the parents, family members for these athletes. Without you guys coming out to every game, it's amazing how many spectators we get at the games. So thank you a lot. To the coaches who coach these girls in the off season, I can't thank you enough. We tell them to play as much as they can, early and often. So all the parents that coach these girls during the off season, thank you. So I'd like to also thank Peter and his team for having another productive and successful year. Keeps putting pressure on us. From day one, Peter and I knew this was going to be a challenging with the number of seniors and their leadership that we lost. We were surprised at how competitive each one of these girls is. We had 6 or 7 8th graders that played continuously throughout the season. We played 3 goalies throughout the season. 2 of the goalies were 8th graders, Ellie and Meredith. And we also asked Cassie to step in and start games to get us into the flow of the game so that we could go with the 2 8th graders. So thank you. So I don't like to talk about records because we were as competitive as any team in our league. We played in the Western Mass semifinals, state tournament, and that's our goal every year is to play in the playoffs. So, let's see here. This year we had 1 all-state player in Ella. We had 2 players, Ella and Catherine Valley, were named all-league team. We had a couple players named to the Mass Live All Western Mass teams or the Hampshire teams. Those were Ella, Catherine, Sophia, Molly, Callie White. Let's see. I really do not give out MVPs, coaches awards. I go with senior leadership awards. It's just such a team effort from all of these girls every game. It could be an MVP one game and not the next. So I just used the 2 senior leadership awards to Catherine and Ella. Yeah, I know. So I'd like to congratulate these girls back here. They really work hard. We practice 6 days a week, and that will start come August. So thank you, and thank everybody here. Appreciate it.
Thoughtful words from Coach Bob over here. Have your attention again. Thank you, guys. Now we have our JV soccer coach, Peter.
Yep, right there. Yep. Perfect. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call the girls up before I go into my speech, but thank you to the Booster Club administration, everybody that puts this on. We know without the Booster Club, we wouldn't have great things like this. Girls, if you can come up. Abigail LeDuc, Ava Lohman, Shanoa, Aubrey, Isabella. There. Just making sure you comment. Yeah. Lydia, Sophia, Madison, Addison, Anya, Kaylin, Kiki, Kira, hold on. All right, we're going to have to improvise because there's more girls here that's not on this list. Sydney. Tessa. Caitlin. Mylin. Sorry for this. There's a lot more girls here than are on the list. And Michaela, I believe. I believe that's everybody. Emily? There we go. Sorry, Sophia. All right, so just want to take a couple minutes to acknowledge these ladies standing before you. The team is made up of 8 7th graders, 10 8th graders, and 5 9th graders. The team's talent is spread across all 3 grades, and the talent is spread across these ladies for years to come. Even though JV is a developmental league, they know Coach Bob is pretty competitive, and we expect a lot out of the girls. Individually, they show up at games, they push themselves day in and day out. This was displayed throughout the first half and then the second half of the year. In short, we lost the first 4 out of the 5 games, and we're in a very competitive league that most people know for soccer. So we lost the first 4 out of the 5 games. The girls knew up front it was going to be very tough, but when you dedicate the time, as Coach Bob said, we didn't practice 6 days a week like varsity. Most of the time it was 5, but sometime we would join in for the 6th day. These girls are also very young, too, in a lot of teams we play, like Northampton, Monument Mountain. They're all 9 through 12 high schools, and we've got 7 through 9. So it was very competitive for these ladies. But they never gave up. They never lost hope after the first 5 games. The vibe was constant throughout the year. We would show up. We would work hard. And as the season went on, we ended up beating Northampton, Lenox, and Monument Mountain, which is up in Great Barrington, and I've been coaching here for 4 years, and we've never come close to beating them. And that's a 9 through 12, and they're a talented team, but these girls just dig in, and they fight, and they fight, and they don't give up. Yeah, so we ended up with, and again, wins, losses don't matter. It's just that we push these girls to work hard day in and day out. But we ended up 5 wins, 5 losses, and 6 ties. And for us to compete with some of these bigger schools, that's a hell of a record. They just push themselves, dedicated teamwork. They believe in yourself. And girls, just remember all the hard work you put into not only sports, but in the dedication. You can carry it with you, whether it's sports, jobs, whatever. Just keep up the hard work and passion with everything that you guys do. I don't want to make a special mention to Faith Ramos, who was our team manager. She was phenomenal throughout the season. there were a lot of times she would see I would get, I don't want to say frustrated, but maybe it's frustrated, and Faith would jump in and she would cheer these girls on, and she would even lead a speech before the game, so it was a perfect combination for her with us. And Coach Bob, thank you very much. We work great as a team together. I actually speak to him more than I speak to my wife throughout the year because we're always figuring combinations, passing girls up, back. So thank you for everything. And thank you, ladies. Round of applause.
Now we have our varsity boys soccer, coached by Coach Todd Dorman and Coach Mark Hagan.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call up the team first. Ben Berger, Cole Fuller, Riley Goodhide. We'll save the applause till the whole team's up here. Thank you. Tristan Moe, Jackson Roy, Carter White, Cody White, Sawyer Clark, Matt Goncars, Nico Grandmont, Gavin Moreno, Johnny Santiago, Patrick French, Daniel Gobbin, Robert Labby, Colin Murdoch, Sam Weatherby. And Spencer, you're on my other paper, Spencer, but come on up, Spencer. There's more room. Keep moving. Slide to your left. All right, so first, I'd like to thank the Booster Club for hosting the event, supporting the team, senior night, all the different ways that they have supported our programs, not just the soccer program, but all the programs and all the activities at the school. I would also, secondly, like to thank our parents and caregivers for supporting the players and the team. We didn't have to go quite as far, but I think Westport was a little bit out of our normal travel zone, but that's okay. Thank you for being there and supporting them all throughout the season, and for our senior families for all the years. I'd like to thank the coaching staff, Coach Afflitto, who wasn't able to make it today, Coach Shaw and Coach Hagan. Without their dedication, we would not have had the success that we've had this year and in the past couple of years. All right, good. Just like always, they're always talking behind my back. Anyway, I'm sorry. So the boys varsity soccer team finished the season with an overall record of 13-4-4, league record of 10-2-4. And so reason to highlight that is a success in that we built upon over the past couple of years. And the team was led by the defense this year, giving up just 8 goals in the regular season. Over the year, excuse me, we've always focused on growth of the team and the player. And this year, our program took a huge leap forward with Jackson Roy's game-winning goal in the Western Mass semifinals against Munson. It pushed the team to the Western Mass finals for the first time since 1970. So an extraordinary opportunity that took a few years for us to get there. I don't mean the 1970 thing. I mean rebounding. All of our programs had been disrupted. The team came together through those disruptions, and we had a senior group that led us to the highest peaks of our competition, and I thank them for that. Now, what also happened for us this year is through that leadership, we were also in high standing within Division 5, making it to the state finals and heading out to Westport, a town I'd never been to. Have you guys been there? Yeah. So we got to see new places, and that's one of the exciting things about the new tournament system is that we are facing teams and going to places that we hadn't been before, and it does raise the level of play for everyone to have those kinds of challenges. So we appreciate that opportunity. I'm going to mention some individual awards. Several team members were recognized. Ben Berger and Cody White received all Western Mass honorable mention. Second team honors went to Riley Goodhine and Gavin Moreno. Our first team honors went to Daniel Govin, Johnny Santiago, Carter White, and Robert Labby. Robert also received, was our one all-star player, all-state player for 2022. And in that group of first team all players, they were all also selected as all league for our Schmidt League. The coach, I'm going to do a couple of individual awards from the team and then have my concluding remarks for the rest of the seniors in the team. So, Coach's Award, Carter White. Carter White has been on the varsity team for 5 years. Everyone should pause a moment to have dealt with me for that long. It is quite the accomplishment. He's a captain. He's an anchor of our defense. Most of the teams will be quite happy to see Carter go, having anchored our defense for 5 years. Thank you, Carter, for all that you've done. We really appreciate it. Our team MVP this year, to go along with All-State and a number of other individual recognitions, is Robert Labby. I'd like to call him the other half of the dynamic duo for our defense. And he will also, this is a little unusual in soccer, happen to be the team's leading scorer. So that is a unique combination of strength and defense and field awareness. So Robert, thank you very much. I would also like to recognize the hard work and dedication of the rest of the team, and particularly our seniors, who have contributed to our growth and our success. So Patrick French, Matt Gonkars, Sam Weatherby, throughout the season, they made significant impacts, particularly in the midfield and the defense. And thank you to our returning players. We look forward to seeing the program grow and how much further we can take it. Thank you.
Round of applause for Coach Dorman. Y'all can chat. They're getting some awards. I know. And now we have our JV boys soccer, Coach Micah Flitto, but in his place we will have Coach Dorman announce.
I'd like to call up the players: Brennan Anderson, Jack Crawford, Jake Aikman, Sam Mora, Daniel Brown, Chris Gregorio, Anthony Santiago, Brendan Carillion, Ralph, Adrian, Daniel, Logan, Brody, Chase Hochschild, Steven Slozik. Hi, Brody. I know that Coach Afflitto has wonderful remarks prepared for the team, but unfortunately wasn't able to be here. I can speak a little bit to the success of their season. We practice in close proximity, so I've seen the growth of many of the players. Unfortunately, with our games always being simultaneous, I didn't get to catch as many of their matches as I would like, but I have been able to note the growth in the players, particularly being able to bring Jake, Brody, Daniel, and Anthony up to varsity for several matches. Daniel really enjoyed our game against Athol. We called a timeout. Daniel just hung out back there. He was really so laser focused he didn't join the team. But it was good. No, laser focus. No, they're growing. We have spots to fill. We're graduating a strong group of seniors, and I'm really looking forward to what these players are going to add to our program next year. So thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for a great season, and I look forward to next year.
Another round of applause for Coach Dorman here. And next we have our varsity girls volleyball, and who will be presenting awards will be seniors Emma Hall and Laura Parker. Get up here.
Hey everybody. I'm presenting on behalf of Chris Ty today, who couldn't be here. So I'm going to say a few words, and then the three captains of the team are going to also say things, because I wasn't there for the whole season, right? I saw some games, but I wasn't there at the practices. So I figured who would do this best but the team captains. And thank you to Mr. Dubuque for being flexible with this. So it was the second year at varsity for these girls. We started this program about 5 years ago, and at the beginning it was just JV, right? We had 3 years of JV, and then last year we moved up to varsity. And both these past 2 years, pretty tough years. A lot of challenges that we did not face at the JV level, right? We have a tough conference, including state champion Paula Frieri. We won't be playing them next year, but they beat us pretty badly, right? We learned a lot these past couple years. It took us 4 games to win a single set at the varsity level. And I know it's cliche, but it really was a building year for this team. You know, we started rolling downhill about that 5th, 6th game, and it got just better from there. So these players faced a lot of challenges. Half of the varsity team had never played the sport before. So they came into the season. We had to teach them the rules. We had to teach them the positions, everything under the sun for volleyball. New rotations, new coach, other challenges, and I'm pretty excited to see what the team can do next year. Now that we have all of this out of the way, we can go into next season fully built up. So at this time, I'm going to call up the girls, and then the team captains are going to say a few words. So for varsity, Ari, 9th grade, Madison, 11th grade, Bella, 11th grade, Abby Feldman, 12th grade, Rebecca Gavel, 12th grade, Emma Hall, 12th grade, Brianna Lemire, 9th grade, Sarah Lassard, 11th grade, Karen McKinnon, 11th grade, Lauren Parker, 12th grade, Victoria Quinlan, 12th grade, Noelle Summerlin, 11th, and Audrey Plaish in 8th grade. Come on up. Got to give a special shout out to Audrey. She started on JV, but called her up pretty early in the season, and she did awesome. So I'm going to give out round of applause for Audrey. I'm going to announce the awards, and then I'm going to hand it over to these captains. So for these awards, I picked 2 this year, and it was a struggle because just like with soccer, thank you, just like with soccer, MVP really just doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, it's such a team game, and no one person on the volleyball team can do it all. So I gave out 2. One is a Defensive Specialist Award, which, you know, offense takes a long time to tune, and it's really hard. But you can cover that by having such a great defense. And Bella Brown was definitely the rock in the back row. balls that I thought were going to sail way out, she was somehow there, crossing the whole court to do it. It's a pleasure to see. So, Bella, thank you. And there we go. And I gave out one more award, Coach's Award, which I'm not seeing here. Do we have a Coach's Award? Well, the Coach's Award I decided to give out this year mostly because of the growth that this player showed, right? She came to volleyball not knowing the rules, not knowing positions, not knowing pretty much anything about it. And she showed up, she worked so hard, day in, day out, came to every practice, every game. And Sarah, are you here? Sarah Lassard, Coach's Award. Thank you, Sarah. I don't have the paper, but I think they do. Sarah, I'm really excited to see what you can do next year, for sure. So now I'm going to hand it over to the 3 team captains who can tell the story of the season better than I can. Who's going first?
Okay, that's me. All right. I didn't print anything out, so bear with me. All right, good morning. My name is Emma Hall, and I'm here with my other senior captains, Rebecca Gavel and Lauren Parker. This year, the girls faced way more than just our opponents. We faced challenges like a new coach, which went really well, new teammates, and new rotations. So I like to give credit where credit is due, and I think the adaptability of our players this year deserves some recognition. So good job, ladies. Thank you. Coming into Granby School's freshman year, volleyball was my outlet for meeting new people, and I think that's kind of the story of a lot of our players. I'm grateful to have grown alongside all of these ladies, and I'm excited to see what some of them do in the rest of their volleyball careers. I'd also like to thank Coach Hall, Coach Chad, and our student managers, Hal Pham, and Michael Swanigan. Thank you for being there every step of the way. Hi, my name is Lauren Parker. I'm a senior on the volleyball team, and I've been captain for 2 years. One thing I can say about playing volleyball, that it's such a great way to build strong relations and connections with others. I feel like this team is more than just a group of people who play together. They're a family, which is such a special bond to have when you're... That kind of trust and camaraderie is rare, and it's just something to truly be grateful for. Keep up the great work, ladies, and you know that you and your team have a special bond that will last long after the volleyball season is over. Also, a little shout out to Madison Bombard for making senior night so special for us, and a special thing for the Booster Club for everything that they do.
Good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Galvin, and I'd like to say a few words today. I know this has been said many times before, but a team is a family. We go to each other when we have our ups and downs, and we leave being recognized, remembered, and acknowledged. And we leave as a legacy. So I would like to end by saying keep up that legacy, do not give up, and most importantly, work as a team as one.
I got to echo what Emma said. Huge thanks to Chad Gagnon. He taught me most everything I know about volleyball, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, and also to Michael Swanigan and Hal Pham as well. Thank you, ladies, for a great season, and I'm going to give you your awards. Right, captains. Thank you, ladies.
Some heartfelt words from players and coaches. Now we have our JV volleyball and our coaches, Coach Zach Hall.
I'm going to put on my JV hat now. All right. It gets cold. All right, so a lot of this I already said, so I'm going to skip the backstory, right? 5 years that this program's existed, and this is the first time that we had both a JV and a varsity team. And, you know, every year I think, okay, now I know what there is to know about coaching volleyball. I know it. The next year is going to be fine. It's not going to be, you know, I've learned everything I have to learn. And every year I get slapped in the face by some new challenges. In this case, it was that JV. Well, I didn't have my anchors of the team, my juniors, my seniors on the JV team. I had a group of younger athletes, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. And that was definitely a huge challenge. But shout out to the people who made it happen, because this program started with about 7 kids, and now we had 25 young ladies sign up for volleyball this past year, and I think that's a huge accomplishment. Thank you to all of you. I'm going to call up the players now. We have Lauren Barlow, Lila Bergeron, Allison Sharon, Summer Doddelin, Casey Dwyer, Morgan Justin, Kaylin Kibbe, Marissa Lemire, Adriana Prim, Savannah Rushlow, Kaylina Smith, Autumn Swistak, and Ava Thoreau. A lot of people helped make this happen. Hey, Autumn, come on up. A lot of people made this happen, right? It didn't go from seven athletes to 25 overnight. It was a lot of hard work, especially by our athletic director, Mr. Dubuque. Thank you for making this happen with 2 teams. I know it was tough. School administration, thanks for supporting us, Ms. Jordan. Our volleyball parents, who've grown to love the sport, come out and support us every game, and especially the young women on the stage, who really gave the sport their all and took a chance on volleyball. Soccer's a known quantity, right? Granby's a soccer town. But to come out for volleyball not knowing what's in store, I'm really proud of you all for that. Thank you. Season was definitely challenging, starting from square one. Half the team, again, just like varsity, half the team barely knew the rules of the sport, hadn't played the sport. So we had to teach the rules, we had to teach the positions, we had to do a lot of teaching in this sense, and definitely proud of the team, how far they've come. The beginning of the season, they were just a collection of kids, and now I have the pleasure to say that they're a true team. So for my awards this year, I gave also 2. No defensive specialist. I gave an offense award for the JV. And there was one player whose serves were always on point, whose hits, attacks, head and shoulders above the rest of the team in terms of coming through in the clutch. So Kaylin Kibbe, offensive award. Kaylin, would you show us the serve right now? No? Okay. Here you go. Thank you, Kaylin. And then for a coach's award, for kind of like a most improved coach's award, always showing up, always putting in the work, always taking the risk, and going in even when she didn't want to, wasn't confident, she went in, she tried her best. Not with us today, but Allison Sharon. Overall, girls, I'm really excited to see what we can do in the next years. Now that we have a solid core, we have 2 teams, I think that we can definitely have a great season next year, and thank you for this one. It was great. Thanks, girls.
And if I could please have your attention, please. I would like to invite Unified Basketball with their coach, Zach Greeny, up to the stage. Your roster should be right here.
Hello. Probably never heard of Unified because this is our first year doing it since, from what I understand, before COVID. So But it was a good first year. I want to thank everybody who helped us get it going, especially Dylan, Allie. Thank you guys to the Booster Club for inviting us. Unified's a program for anybody to come play basketball and just have fun doing it, which is exactly what we were able to do this year. We started with not being sure if we were going to have a roster, and then we ended up having a roster, scheduling practices, and then we got a couple games scheduled. So we kind of turned this season around, got the kids out there on the court, started playing basketball, which was great. We ended up having 2 games, both in Northampton. Our first game, we went in there ready to go. Everybody came. It was like a party. Like we had like game 2 of the Celtics against the Sixers. Like we went in there, everybody scored, we killed them. We had a great time, and then we came home, and I think we got a little bit overconfident. We went into our second game, and they handed us a pretty good loss. So the kids learned a lesson. We all learned a lesson. We had a great time doing it. We ended up having about 10 kids come out. Not all of them are here, from what I understand. I think we have 3 people that are here. But our roster, we had Ethan, we had Cody Bro, we had Russell Carter, we had Brent Dwyer come, we had Callan Gallagher, we had Killian Hughes, Kevin Mann, Maggie O'Connor, who's a senior. We're not going to have her next year. She's our only graduating senior. Richard Sweet, and Zach also was a senior. I don't think he's here as well, but he came to help us out. I don't have any awards, but I want to give these guys a shout out. Cody came every week, came every day. Great leader, varsity player. Helped show these guys kind of how to play, act as a role model. Callan always had a great smile on his face. He was one of our best shooters. Whether he was scoring or whether he was dribbling down the court the opposite way, like he just was jumping up and down, like having a great time, getting everybody excited to play. So, and then Ethan came every day. One of the kids that really wanted to work on his skills, become a better basketball player, and he did. You know, he grew throughout the year. I'm excited to see him play next year and the years to come. He's going to be a great player. So, I want to thank everybody again for letting us come out here. Letting us have a season, letting us celebrate the season. We really appreciate it. We're hoping to build this program, so if there's anybody that you guys know would want to play, please have them come see me. We want this to be something that we can build on in the years to come. So thank you very much. I also want to say, just because it kind of applies to everybody, we're building a weight room at the high school, and we're trying to get funding for it. And we have a racquetball tournament coming up. It's also what I previously called dodgeball. If any of you guys want to come, parents included, you want to throw balls at your kids, I know sometimes I do. Make a team, right? If more kids we can get to play, more teams we can get to play, the more money we can get in, better we can get all of your kids in there to train for all of their sports. So thank you again.
Thank you, Coach Greeny. And now we will have our varsity boys basketball, coached by Coach Dylan Dubuque.
All right, I'm just gonna use my big boy voice. So, doing this for Coach Williams and the cross country team. I'd like to call out some of the athletes here. Nate Benson, Nolan Hall, Esther, Nathan Walsh, Quinn, Nathan Hutchinson, Brady Pete, Griffin Funk, Aurora, and Robert Walsh, please. So those of you who don't know, we co-op with South Hadley, so we do have 2 female runners from the South Hadley High School that join us to run. This is Coach Williams' spiel here for you. The road to success is always under construction, by Lily Tomlin. The members of the cross-country team accomplished many things this season, running many all-time and season best performances. Most notably of them all was Nathan Hutchinson, who went from being the tail end of our varsity squad last year to the team's front runner this year. He earned a trip to all-state cross-country meet to represent the Rams. He was a PVIAC All-Star Honors and a Mass Live All-Western Mass Second Team Honors. Is he here with us? Quinlan Cook was new to the team but quickly moved to the forefront, starting the season running a 30-minute 5K to ending it with a 23-minute 5K. Also being selected to the PVIAC All-Star. She here with us? Yeah. Good job, Ben. Both athletes competed in the Granby Winter Track Club, representing the Rams at meets at the Reggie Lewis Center and the track at the New Balance Center. To our seniors, we wish you the best of success as you embark on the newest chapter in your journey after your graduation. I hope that you take with you the fondest memories of your years at Granby Junior Senior High School. To our returning and newest members, we look forward to building on the tradition of success from this past season and sending more of our talented runners to represent the Granby Rams at the state meet in 2024. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can do basketball. All right, going to stay on the stage is the boys basketball coach. Call up the varsity guys here. Ben Berger, Sawyer Clark, Robert Labby, Colin Murdoch, Carter White, Cody Bro, Daniel Dobbin, Nick Pasazic, Jonathan Santiago, Cody White, Roman Bullock, Riley Goodhine, Gavin Moreno, and Sam Weatherby. Let's call up our team managers, Anthony Gregorio and Matthew Picard. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't write a speech. I had the 10 minutes I could get away from the family this morning, and that was my welcoming note. But I do want to touch on a couple things with this team, this squad. So this year we were co-league champs, finishing the league 10-2. A lot of people followed our team from last year. We graduated some really phenomenal players, and I don't think the expectations for these guys returning were that high. I share with my coaching staff and some of our team captains and our leaders that I suspected that we would do very well in our league, compete in the Western Mass tournament, and give people a hard time once it came to that state tournament, and that's exactly what we did. This group here, I like to say we practice harder than we play. We make practice as competitive as games, if not more competitive. And guys show up every day. And it's a testament to their work ethic, their dedication to the sport, their love for each other, how good of a team they turned out to be. I'm going to go without this. People hear me? Yeah. So, there's two things, and there's two sides to this that I want to share. When we put this team together, we had a bunch of seniors come out, a couple guys that hadn't played a lot in the past, earned a spot on the team. We had some rising seniors that have a skill set and brought a lot to the team. And then we have this sophomore class that was loaded with a lot of talent and upcoming future guys that are going to step into some starting roles and things like that. So, as I'm saying, there's two sides to this. We have these sophomores that we started off as half and half. For those of you that don't know, you play a little JV, you dress for varsity. A lot of times when that happens, those players kind of come along for the ride. They'll get in blowouts one way or the other. And something really unique happened this year where we had some sophomores that were JV guys that not only played on the varsity, earned varsity roles. And that's a testament to their work ethic and their drive And the other side of the coin, and this is a really special part, and something I want you guys to hear, and publicly I want them to be recognized for this. Some of the seniors that really worked their butts off, wanted to play, gave all their effort, they had skill sets that helped us in certain situations. They recognized that these younger guys were able to give a little bit more in a game setting, and at no point did they ever come to me and say, I should be playing over this person, I'm better than them, I'm better than that. We had conversations on how they can continue to grow, how they can earn more minutes, and how they can be a big piece of what we're doing. And they were a huge piece of what we're doing. They came to practice every day, pushed, worked hard, their mindset, their attitude never wavered, not one bit. And that was a testament to your parents, your upbringing, and understanding of the situation. But I think it's a very important message to understand here in athletics that there's only so many positions, there's only so many minutes to be played. And I say this in my preseason coaches meeting with my parents. I would love for everyone here to be the leading scorer, to be the point guard, to play 32 minutes a game. It's just not feasible, and it doesn't happen. And it's part of a life lesson, you know? Some of us want better jobs and higher pay and more responsibility, or maybe less responsibility on the other side of things. But it comes with growing and learning, and I gotta give you guys a ton of credit, those folks that know who I'm talking to. I appreciate you guys, and you have more respect for me than you'll ever know. So thank you to this group of boys. We've did a couple shout outs to some individual awards. Carter White, Rob Labby, Colin Murdoch, they were all recognized for league awards, all Western Mass. At some level or another, they give out so many awards. I couldn't have recommended them enough. They had great years. Carter and Rob, specifically, senior captains, leaders, returners, played a ton of minutes as juniors. Really the only two that had varsity experience coming into this year, helped carry on the tradition and all the philosophies and things that we taught, and they'll be greatly missed along with the rest of the seniors. Much appreciated for these folks. With that being said, basketball is very popular in town. A lot of people are playing, and it's people are closing the gaps on each other. So you returners, a lot of work to do. Keep playing, keep shooting, keep dribbling, conditioning, all that good stuff. And let's come into the season next year ready to rock and roll. Love you guys. I'm going to stay for mine. Do we have a JVs team? Thanks.
And now we will have Coach Dubuque announcing the JV for Coach Flitto.
All right. We're going to call the players up. Gio Alexander, Brennan Dwyer, Anthony Masajic, Anthony Santiago, Brendan Carlillion, Brody Funk, Sammy Moore, Daniel Santiago, Gavin Kennedy, Jackson Roy, Nathan Walsh. Anybody I missed, please come up. I don't like this here. So, Coach Flitto couldn't make it this morning. He's playing in a men's baseball league and hurt his knee pretty bad, so he couldn't make it. So he's not just skipping out. He wanted to be here. As Coach Dorman said, he had a lot of nice things to say about these young men. As Coach Dorman said, we practice a lot with the JV. Basketball is one of those sports we're in the gym at the same time. We mix them into drills. We'll sometimes scrimmage them and different things like that. So I got to see their growth throughout the year. And one of my favorite things, as I mentioned in my welcoming speech, is to take a snapshot of day one. What does your team look like? How do they get along? How do they interact? How do they compete in that first game? And then look at it at the last game of the year. And anybody that followed this through could see that they became a team got guys playing certain positions, a little bit out of position. Took a lot of the sophomore kids that would be JV players to the varsity. So some of these guys had to step up and play some new positions, and they all took on the challenge, and they competed really hard. They were in almost every game they played this year, and we played a pretty tough schedule. So we got to give them credit for showing up every day, competing, learning the system, learning what it's like to be like a part of the Granby Rams basketball program, and hopefully a little fire under you guys. You're going to work hard, get bigger, stronger, faster, and come help us again next year. Thank you guys.
Now we will have our swim co-op with Holyoke and South Hadley, coached by Coach Meg Haber. Your roster is right there.
Thank you. Hi. How are you all? Great. First, I want to say thank you to the Booster for having me and having all of your little athletes come swim for me. They have been a pleasure to coach for the number of years that they have been with us for South Hadley. First, I would like to have them come up here, wherever they are. Eva, Madison, Alexis, Jared, Brady Pete, Austin, and Gracie. No, she's not. This year was my first year coaching both Jared and Alexis, and I have to say, from a coach's standpoint, from our first practice to your Western Mass debut, Jared, the improvement alone for non-swimmers is amazing. They were by far my most improved across the board for the entire team. So thank you for that. And one last thing I definitely need to say in regards to these four specifically, when they would show up to practice, always, 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 no matter what, could make me smile and could make me laugh in regards to everything and anything. So that in itself is appreciated a lot. So thank you. Jared, this year, for his first year swimming with us, you did great. You really did. You impressed me more ways than one in regards to your willingness to just learn and listen and overcome certain things throughout the season, whether it was learning something new or going up against a swimmer that you knew had many more years experience on you. And you rose above that occasion and you rocked it, so thank you. In regards to Madison and Alexis, you two have shown me alone what it means to keep pushing no matter what is thrown at you. So that, take with you and keep it always close to your heart and don't ever stop fighting. Eva, I've had her whole little high school career for swimming, and I've known her since she was younger, and I will miss you a lot, and you are gonna do amazing, amazing things in college. So take everything that you have learned from swimming, not giving up, not stopping, not taking no for an answer when it comes to a certain time or a certain race or against another swimmer who's double your size and height and everything. Take that with you with everything you apply into your life, because you guys are amazing, and everyone here that knows you should be honored to know you. So thank you.
Now we have our hockey co-op, coached by Coach Kevin Stefanik. The roster should be right here.
Okay, that's not bad. Thank you, everyone who's still here. I saw the list. I got here like, 10, 20 minutes late. I saw the list. I was like, okay, this is going to be a couple hours. All right, we'll get there when we get there. So we co-op. I coach for South Hadley. We co-op with South Hadley. This year we had 14 players. So it was real slim. It was a tight squad. We went, regular season, we went 6-9, and then that was including an overtime loss, unfortunately. We had 6 players from Granby on the team. We had 3 seniors, we had 2 freshmen, and we had 1 junior. Actually, you know what, guys, if you're up here, I got Mike Arabic, Josh Shatanoff, Connor McDonald, Max Kennedy, Braden LeDuc, and Nate Lohman. You're locking it in like that? Yeah? We already did this, guys, so it'll be quick. We have a banquet like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Way longer than that. Way after we finished our season. Coaching hockey with having 14 guys, it is tough. It is tough. Not everyone's going to be on every day. Like to thank the parents of these athletes here for putting up with a lot of hours, a lot of driving, a lot of going to the rink. Especially we have Josh and Mike here, they're seniors, both very good students, very, very good students. And actually we have Josh going to UMass in the fall. Mike's going to Salve, Virginia in Rhode Island. We had Nate Lohman led the team in points as a defenseman, 19 points in 16 games, 3 2-goal games. It's pretty good stuff. We had Connor in second with points. I think he had, 17 and 16, and he had the only goal in the Western Mass semifinal game we played this year. So, putting it up on this side of the border at least. But, yeah. Hey, that's a point a game, point a game average. It's pretty good. Especially with all the shifts that you guys play, you think about when your chances flop, when you have good chances, and you're like, oh, I could have had a 4-point game. You still get one every game. That's good. But these guys that are here, I'm trying to look at, for the most part, Max is a freshman. Had Josh and Mike all 4 years, Connor 3 years. This is my second year being the head coach. When I played for South Hadley. We co-opted with Granby. We had 3 or 4 guys on our team. We had a lot of success. We've been with Granby for the most part, I think for maybe we took a year or 2 off. And then this following upcoming season, the whole plan is to co-op with South Hadley, Granby, and Chicopee. Looking forward to it. At least Max, Connor, get a lot of ice in the summer for the most part, but 6-9, we lost playoff semifinals. We had a player playing goalie that never played goalie before in his life. I've been coaching for 12 years. I've never asked anyone to do that ever. So the amount of like pressure, just taking that and putting that all onto one kid, like Braden Leduc, he performed, man. I think they put up what, like 28 shots on him, 30 shots. We lost 8-1, but I mean, you look at the bench, we were missing one or two guys gone on vacay. What can you do? You got to work with what you got. You know, you got to adapt, adjust, overcome. But these guys, and you know, just for the most part, I appreciate, you know, all the effort you guys put in. Hockey, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of mental preparation. It's like a lot. These guys are getting to the rink. You know, we have practice. That's a 2.5 hour, 3 hour day. 5 days a week, 4 days a week, especially, you know, with games, tack on another hour and a half. That's a 5 hour day for a game, right? For the most part, the moment you wake up, we have a game in 9 hours from now, I got to get ready. So just a lot of time and commitment. I appreciate all these guys that are here. And just a big thank you to the Granby Booster Club putting this on. I walked in, I saw the place full up, and I was just like, okay, like this, got to try to, you know, keep it tight, put on a little show, make sure we say some, you know, good things about these gentlemen here. But congratulations to all the student athletes. I know you're still playing spring sports. Lacrosse team is doing pretty good, I heard. Yeah, all right, a couple more games left to catch one. Baseball, yeah. All right, well, no answer is good answer. But good luck to all of you, and thank you for everyone for coming, and thank you. All right, boys.
Now, if we could have girls varsity basketball with their coach, Megan Sozik.
All right, let's call the team up first. Mabel Carillon, Caitlin Curran, Cassie Flaherty, Sophia Gagnon, Mylin The Liberty, Ava Lohman, Aubrey Parent, Grace Roy, Autumn Seacard, Callie White, Molly Zombruski, Brenna Moreno. So in looking for a way to describe our season, I think Rocky Balboa said it best. It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward, that's how winning is done. And no disrespect for any of the athletes in the room, but I don't think any team got hit as hard and as often as these girls did. So kudos to them for coming every day, showing up every day with a smile on their face and enthusiasm for trying to improve and get better, both personally and as a team. They were optimistic despite just immense adversity. If you knew the league that we play in, it's just not a happy place to be. So with no seniors on our team, it was truly a challenge this year. Every single girl up here spent some time last year on JV, so we had no one who actually spent an entire season on varsity. All of these girls were new to varsity. We're looking forward to next season where we move into our new league, which will be much more competitive and a much better place for us to be able to succeed. I think the future is bright and these girls should not be written off. Great things are to come in the next couple of years. We have a lot of really, truly amazing athletes, and I'm excited to see what their future looks like. So, good job.
And now, if we could have our junior varsity girls basketball coach, Danielle Miel.
Hi, everyone. I don't have anything really written today, but let me call the girls up. And I just wanted to say that this is beautiful, this whole thing that the Booster Club put on. I would have loved to have something like this when I was in high school, so this is really awesome. So I'll have the girls come up. Let's have Meredith, Kaylin, let's have Tessa, Brenna, Ava, Mylin, Abby, Julianis, Ellie, Carly, McKenna. So this is my first season coaching basketball. I played in high school and I loved it so much. So I thought I'd come out here and coach with these girls. I was really nervous. I wasn't really sure what to expect from them. But, oh, Kiki, did I not call you? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Kiki. Kiki, come on up. Everyone give a round of applause for Kiki. I'm sorry. These girls, you know, they pushed every day. They were there. They all worked so hard. Something that impacted me the most from all these girls was how genuine they all are. They have such great personalities. They're all so kind, caring, compassionate, and I really felt so welcome, especially the varsity team as well. You all made me feel like I was a part of the team after the second day. So that was something that meant a lot to me. Each and every one of the girls up here, they improved from the beginning of the season to the end. One of the refs that we had at the beginning of the season, I think it was one of our last games, he came up to me and he was like, out of all the junior varsity girls teams that we've played, I've seen the most improvement, like when I reffed your game from your girls. So that felt really cool for me. You know, this is my first time coaching basketball, and being able to see the, you know, progression and growth that these girls made, it was really awesome. So I just wanted to say that I love all of them, and I hope I'm welcome back next year to coach. Yeah, so thank you. Oh, and Faith. Faith was our awesome manager. I'm sorry, that was terrible. Faith is so important to us.
One more round of applause for your coach, Danielle. Now we have our wrestling team, coached by Coach Kevin McNeil.
Awesome, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll try to keep this short, keep this thing moving here. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. The wrestling team, if you don't know, we co-op with a few other schools. So I'm going to list our guys that are here, but there will be a lot that aren't. So we co-op with Amherst High School. We also co-op with the Pioneer Valley Chinese Immersion Charter School in Hadley. So we have a handful of wrestlers here, but we are missing quite a few. My roster. So we have Nathan Benson, David Hackett, Leo Anu, Julian Lee Choi, Isaiah Lataz, Amani Lataz, Braden McDonald, Jonathan Malone, David Radkowski, Esteban Ramos, Junior Ramsey, Quinn Speak, Eliza Speak, Simon Speak, Phoenix Stone, and Richard Sweet. Come on up, guys. All right, so real quick about our season. Our team is all 7th through 10th graders, with the exception of one senior, Braden McDonald. So super young team. A lot of growing, a lot of learning taking place this year. I have 3 quick awards that I was going to talk about. Simon Speak couldn't be here today. He was our Rookie of the Year. He goes to the PVCI school. Simon's a 7th grader. He actually won the most matches on our team this year as a 7th grader. He's kind of a funny kid to watch because he comes out of the stands, his hair's all disheveled, he looks half asleep, and then he's like an absolute killer on the mat. So it's pretty awesome to watch him. He's been wrestling for a little bit through the youth, and so he obviously has some experience. He's our Rookie of the Year. He couldn't be here today. Second up, our most valuable player. This young man goes to he's from Amherst. He wrestles for us, Junior Ramsey. He qualified for the Division II state tournament this year, wrestled really well. He's a football player. We're just teaching him how to wrestle, and it's been a ton of fun to watch this kid learn the sport. Nice job, Junior. And of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about my only senior. So Braden had a heartbreaking loss at the very beginning of the year at a tournament in Holyoke. He lost to a kid from Northampton. And Coach Vinny, who couldn't be here today, and myself, Vinny's my assistant coach. Coach Vinny and I had a long conversation with Braden, and he learned a lot from that loss. He actually ended up losing to that same kid again later in the year, so he lost to him twice, right? So then we're wrestling senior night, and we have Northampton and West Springfield coming over, so we're like, hey, Braden, do you want to wrestle this kid again? And at first, we were kind of like, he's probably not going to want to wrestle this kid on senior night, but Braden said, you know what, Coach? I'm going to do it. Let's wrestle him. So Braden goes out on senior night, and he ends up pinning this kid from Northampton. It was pretty awesome. The whole place went crazy. Whole place goes nuts, right? So everyone's freaking out. It's pretty awesome. And then he ends up beating the kid from West Springfield too that night. Braden had a phenomenal end to his senior year. He won those 2 matches at senior night. Then he goes on and he wrestles in a super tough weight class at our Division II West sectional tournament. We call it sectionals. People call it Western Mass. I don't know. So he goes on and he wrestles in this tough tournament. He ends up placing 5th in a super tough weight class. I'm talking like they had a returning New England champ in the kids' weight class. He ends up placing 5th. So really an awesome season for Braden. Good luck with everything you do. All right, so I told you I'd be fast. Hopefully that was quick enough for you. I will say this, though, something that's kind of cool for our wrestling program. We did start a Belchertown Granby, well, it's called Granby Belchertown Youth Wrestling Program. So if you have young ones that are looking for something to do, our youth wrestling program started up this year, and we had 40 kids. We had 40 kids register between the 2 towns. I think we had 26 from Belchertown and we had 14 from Granby. So we're starting to grow this thing. It's going to take some time, but we're putting in the work now. That was just K to 6. K to 6, we had 40 kids register. So if you got little ones that don't know what they want to do in the winter, have them come check it out. Thank you. I'll give these 2 guys over there, all right? Good work, good work, good work.
Thank you, Coach McNeil. One sec, y'all. If we could have our varsity softball coaches, Coach Rich Roy and Doug Parker, up to the stage, please.
Thank you, Faith. I'd like to call our athletes up first because that's why we're here. I'd like to get them up here. It's their day. Start with Meredith Bartos. If you could hold your applause till I finish. Mabel Carillon, Sydney Sydney Quinlan Cook, Caitlin Curran, Cassandra Flaherty, Sophia Gagnon, Kiki Gay, Tessa Healy, Kaylin Kibbe, Alexis Lapete, Lauren Parker, Jaden Robarge, Grace Roy, Autumn Swistek, Eleanor Slozik, and Kira Trudell. A lot of these girls will be getting called up in a moment. We have a very young team. I have one senior, 2 juniors, 4 sophomores, 1 freshman, and the rest of these young ladies, talented young ladies, are 8th graders. We have a large floating pool. We kind of took the idea from basketball, and they've risen to the challenge. We've had a few injuries and such. We had to call some of the girls up, and they've been great all year. I told them at the beginning of the season that I had expectations. We would play like we practice, and we're going to practice like we play. And they've done it. They've done everything I've asked of them. They show up every day. I preach positivity. I want them to stay positive. A few things I'd like to thank the Booster Club, first and foremost, for having us here. I'd like to thank the school administration for everything they do for the student athletes, because they're students first. I'd like to thank especially AD Dylan Dubuque. He's my 5th AD in my coaching career. It started in 1986, and they say save the best for last. I couldn't ask for a better AD. I'd also like to acknowledge my staff. Doug is up here with me, but I have other members of my staff. Laura Carillon is our team manager, team mom. She does a great job. And my bench coach, Mike Flaherty. He's a rock on the bench with us, keeps everything going during the game. He's very knowledgeable in all sports, not just softball. I also like to thank the JV staff, Megan and Jess, for working with the younger girls. They do a great job, obviously, with the talent we have up here. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. I don't have any in-season awards. We're still in season. And to be honest with you, I'm not a guy who gives a trophy to everybody. For younger players, that's great. But when it comes to the older kids, everything is earned. I told them that from day one. I don't give them playing time. They earn their playing time. And every one of them, in a way, I wish we played slow pitch softball, because then I could play 11 instead of 9. Because they come up every day, they work hard, they put in the work. And when I tell them you're moving up in the order today, or you're starting today, and they thank me, and of course I tell them they're welcome, but then I tell them, don't thank me. I'm not giving you it. You've earned it. And they've all done a great job. Our record is 7-6. We play in a tough league. That's not an excuse. We play whoever's in front of us. It doesn't matter. We play Hoyoke, Salhadley, Belchertown. They're in our league, but they're in higher divisions. But our girls show up, we compete. I told Dylan, if he hired me, our girls would compete. This program was going to take a new step in a new direction, and these girls, like I said, have done everything I asked of them all season. They've been great. We're 7-6. We have about a third of our season left. We have Western Mass and state playoffs if we can get some more wins. I believe we have more wins. Are we done winning, girls? Are we done winning, girls? No. Okay? I think they just want to yell because of the setting, because normally they're pretty vocal. Our team is the Running Rams, as I moniker us, because we have great athletes. I like to be, any sport I've coached, be aggressive, offensively, defensively, put pressure on the other team. And these girls have risen to the occasion, and that's why I gave them the nickname the Running Rams. If you come to our games, they're constantly moving. Even the few games that we haven't been successful in, we've competed. I'll just touch on one real quick. Last Friday against Palmer, not this Friday, but the Friday prior, we showed up. We had already beaten them once. We showed up at their field. After the second inning, we were down 17-5. And I asked them, are we done? They said no. I said, can we put up a crooked number next inning? And they said yes, and we did. I said, we don't have to score 12 runs next inning. We just have to score some runs and play better defense, because we had left our gloves at Granby. I had to send the coach back to pick up some of our gloves. And they turned it around. I mean, we outscored them the next 5 innings. Not only did we play a 7-inning game, in a game that was in doubt after 2, we had a chance to win the game at the end. I told them I was just as proud of them as if we had won, because it would have been easy for them to roll over and give up, and they didn't. That's a testament to these ladies. That's a testament to their parents, who I'd like to thank for bringing them every day, picking them up. A lot of them obviously don't drive. You know, I thank you for your support for your daughters, and I appreciate you allowing me to coach them because they do a great job for me. And again, I just want to thank everybody who's here today. I don't have an in-season awards, like I said. If you saw the Western Mass News for the top leaders in softball, they posted mid-season, I think in the last week. Granby was #1 as far as most girls in the categories. And that's, again, that's for them. If you had our numbers, you would know that a lot of these girls who weren't listed were one hit, one RBI away from being listed in the leaders too. So it's not just the girls who were listed, but their teammates who were right behind them. And again, we're not done, and I expect us to be in the state playoffs this year. That was a goal at the beginning of the year, and we're competing. I haven't changed that goal. I do want to acknowledge our one senior, Lauren Parker. She'll be going on to play college next year at Gordon College in Boston. She'll be taking her glove and bat to the diamond out there. And last but not least, before I leave the stage, I promise you, this is almost over. If I could get Chrissy and Brian to come up here, please, from the Booster Club real quick. The Booster Club's been great. They got a baseball fence for the varsity baseball team. We got a beautiful brand new fence for the softball diamond, but they can't do everything. So I need help. Spoke with Dylan. I initiated a fundraiser to get the safety fences for our JV team, because we have a program. We don't just have a team. The JV is just as big as a part of our program as the varsity. And so I initiated a fundraiser. We're selling Running Rams t-shirts, Granby softball, for anybody who's interested. If you go on the Granby Booster website, they have one of our flyers with my email address. You can send me an email with your order if you want to help. If you just want to make a monetary donation, no amount is too small. This is for the safety fences for the JV team. I just got it off the ground, and if Brian and Chrissy come here, I'd like to present them with a check for $840 towards the installation and cost of the fences. I hope it's the first of a few checks. To everybody else, I hope the rest of your seasons go well, and for those whose season's over, thank you for everything you do for your school and yourselves and your parents. Thank you.
Now our girls lacrosse coach, Coach Gary O'Grady, and Coach Tess Spears. The roster is right here.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to call up our team. Lauren, Ari, Maylee, Emily, Morgan, Kelly Lynn, Lydia, Ella, Marlon, Abby, Ava, Brenna, Faith, Ava, Caitlin, Catherine, Callie, McKenna, and Molly. And Coach Tess, come on. I've been coaching lacrosse a long time. I was invited by Dylan to coach the Granby team, and I can honestly say this has been the best experience that I've had. I really enjoy it here, and I appreciate all the help Dylan has given me. Appreciate all the help of the Booster Club, and also the help of the administration, who actually got to know my name after our first game here. We are in the middle of the season right now. We're 7-4, well on our way to qualifying for the state playoffs. All of our players have worked very hard. Our offense, this has to be mentioned, so our offense has been led by Ella Lally-Birdie, who is named a Super 7 this week. She also leads the Western Mass in scoring, scored her 200th goal against Munson on April 5th and recorded a 300 point this past Thursday against Pope Francis. Our defense has been led by Catherine Valley, who is always leading our team in ground balls picked up, stopping a lot of goals from being scored and protecting our goalie, who is Faith. Where is she? Oh, okay. So just wanted to mention her. I help out at Westfield State, and a couple of girls attended the camp, and they said, you're not going to have a goalie. And, well, I said, I'll find one. And sure enough, first day, she shows up, and we're well on our way. Also, again, I'd just like to thank our seniors. Catherine's going to attend the University of New Hampshire, and Ella's going to attend University of Massachusetts. Couldn't ask for two better seniors my first year here. We have a strong group of young players, 8th graders, freshmen, sophomores, and one junior, who battle every game, usually against upperclassmen and teams that are, that teams have a lot of experience, and will be a tough team in the next 3 or 4 years, and guarantee you that. Unfortunately, Granby doesn't have a youth program or a JV program, and there are probably 5 players on this team who were told at one point they wouldn't see a whole lot of playing time, but they do show up for practice every day. They're going through some high school varsity drills every day, and even some college drills. They deserve a lot of credit. They could have said no, but they're out there every day. I appreciate it, and will be in good shape in the future. One thing I'll bet, I would be willing to bet we are the youngest team in the state that plays in girls lacrosse. Our average grade level is actually less than a freshman at 8.9, and we have some teams that will be combining programs next year, like Munson and Palmer, and we'll be the smallest school in the state to have a lacrosse team. And we will be, I guarantee you this, we will be a top team in our conference next year, and we will also be a challenge in the state playoffs. Thank you very much. I appreciate the welcome I got. I really appreciate the Booster Club and all their help, and I really appreciate the team. We've had a lot of fun together, and look forward to finishing the season strong. Thank you.
And now if we could have the JV softball coaches Megan Sozik and Jessica Weglars up to the stage.
Okay, if the girls will come to the stage, Cadence Baldwin, Summer Dodlin, Kiki Gay, Tessa Healy, Kaylin Kibbe, Abby Leduc, Grace Pula, Sophia Rodriguez, Autumn Swistek, and Carly Zobka. So if you remember what you saw for the varsity softball team, you'll notice a lot of those same faces are back up again. As Coach Rich said, we had a lot of injuries for the varsity team, and so several of these girls are moving up and down on a daily basis. We're constantly checking in to see who's playing JV, who's playing varsity. Girls are being asked to play positions they haven't played before. There's a lot of moving around. So every game is different. Every game is a challenge. The girls you have up here are only 7th and 8th graders. We are playing against 9th, 10th, 11th graders on a lot of the teams that we're playing. Right now, unfortunately, softball is kind of on the decline. We are one of the few JV teams in the area. Towns like South Hadley, towns like Belchertown, there is no JV softball. So we're kind of scrambling to find teams to play. So at this point in our season, we are only halfway through. So we have the second half of our season is in the next 9 games. We have, 6 games in the next 9 days. So we are just cramming in as much softball as we can at the end of our season here. Currently, we have a winning record and we've been playing really well. And I'm hoping that, again, in the next 9 days, we can pick up 5 or 6 more wins. It's certainly a possibility. I'm really proud of the girls, of how they've been showing up every day. For those of you that have been standing out in the cold, in the rain, this spring has not been a fun place to be outside, but these girls are out there every day working hard. I would argue we are probably the dirtiest team in the league as far as we are sliding every day. We are the only team that is sliding every opportunity we can in a game, and I am so proud of the girls. Many of the teams we played against have mentioned, wow, your team is leaps and bounds skill-wise ahead of other teams as far as in-game play and knowledge of the games and things like that. And that's certainly something that we should be proud of and look to watch as they move to the varsity level. So, congrats, girls.
And now if we could have our boys lacrosse coach, Coach Curtis Leduc, up to the stage. Coach Dubuque is going to announce for him.
Thank you. Coach couldn't make it this afternoon. I'm going to call the boys up. Danny Alexander, Braden Leduc, Paul Lucchesi, Joseph Severino, Cody White, Michael Arabic, Caleb Laverge, Anthony Maggio, Stuart Slozik, Sam Braze, Neil Lindenberg, Connor McDonald, Neil Valley, Daniel Brown, Nate Lohman, Tristan Moe, Jordan V. Reed, Riley Goodhine, Camden Lopez, Nathan Seymour, and Jacob Weglars. Let's give it up for these guys, please. And the boys manager, Sawyer Clark. So I can talk on behalf of the boys real quick. Anybody that followed the boys lacrosse program, we've had our ups and downs over the years. As Coach O'Grady pointed out, there's no youth lacrosse in town, so we're kind of at a disadvantage when it comes to the high school level. We got a lot of guys putting a stick in their hand in the middle school years, and some guys joining, halfway through their high school career, seeing the sport being played. So as far as this year goes, the boys are doing very, very well. Anybody want to give me a record? 7-3, and I believe that's 6-7 more wins than last year. With the guidance of the new coaching staff, Curtis Leduc, and why am I blanking on Jack O'Brien, the boys have been very coachable. I think the leadership of some of the returning guys has been a big turning point. The maturity level has grown over the years. Nate in the goal has been terrific. Tristan manning the backfield, and then some add-ons, like I said, some guys joining the sport, picking it up on the fly, doing a really, really commendable job. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out, it's fun to watch. They're getting up and down the field. They're playing with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and best of luck the rest of the way, gentlemen. Thank you.
Was it raffle time? And then we could do volleyball? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's talking for chat. Is the boys varsity volleyball and JV volleyball. Their coach is Coach Chad Gagnon, but the coach is Chad Gagnon, but we have his daughter, Sophia Gagnon, to read.
JV and
Well, there's varsity and then there's. So just
No,
do
but-
them one at a time.
You want me to do varsity first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do that.
Okay. Obviously, not my dad nor the coach, but I'm gonna keep this very short. Can I call the players up first? So we have Roman Bullock, Matt Gankars, Nolan Hall, Michael Swanigan, Sam Weatherby, Jake, he's not here, Nico Gramont, Robert Labby, Nathan Walsh, Braden Gallagher, Griffin Funk, Hal Pham, and Robbie Walsh. So last year there was only 8 players on varsity. This year it jumped up to 23. This is mostly because of the returning players. They have also promoted our team to others all year and assisted the girls volleyball team all season with the score table and practices. Our libero, Braden Gallagher, and our team captain, Michael Swanigan, have been a huge part of this volleyball community building effort. This season's team is drastically different from last year. Last year we had little offense and relied on our total team defense. This year, along with the growth and hard work, we added a whole bunch of 6-foot-tall athletes and team creating a whole loaded offense with blocking and last year's defense to do the rest. This combo has done us well so far, and we are now 10-4 and overall 7-0, allowing us to win the Western Conference already with a lot of season left. Ranked 20. Ranked 23 out of 70 teams in D2 and MIA Power Rankings heading into playoffs in our second varsity year is something everyone involved should be very proud of. All of this would not have been possible without the unity of all the players to be able to accomplish all of these goals as a team. In conclusion, I would like to thank all of the players and the parents of this team for all of their efforts and hard work that they have put in this season to be able to make this season as successful as it is. Coach says that he has enjoyed coaching this team and can't wait to see what we do for the rest of the season. Thank you. He did not want to hand out awards, so you guys are good. Yeah, you gotta get your papers done. The last one. You all should come to their senior night on Monday.
And now Sophia, announcing for her dad again, is the JV volleyball boys.
You got it.
Okay, can I have Ethan Bergeron, Durant Garden, Justin Mersad, Blake Sweat, Chase Clark, Vitaly Gavel, Esteban Ramos, Ralph, Aiden, and Max Seymour.
Am I done? Okay, we're good. This one is very short. This year is the first year that we have varsity and JV, but it is very safe to say that a first-year JV team is very important for the future for this volleyball program. And I just want to thank all of the team members for their effort that you have put in to learn the game. And thank you for the parents for their support for their children. That's it. That concludes the sports part of our ceremony.